In the past months, you most likely have seen RNG games on Roblox. Tens of thousands of different people play them every single day. But what are the RNG games? To get the answer to the question, I picked 4 different RNG games that I will test and play to see what is similar and what is different between them, and what makes an RNG game better or worse. Let's start with Souls RNG, the game that have been the most popular RNG game for months by now. As it's the most popular RNG game, I would expect it to be good too. I did try to play it once back in early April, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I have this 1 in 12,000 aura which I got with pure luck, and pure luck is pretty much what the game is about. I have these 2 auras in my inventory, and if we move to index, you can see that I barely got any auras discovered at all. So this game is about rolling auras, and whenever you get a rare aura, or aura that you want to keep, you just keep it. The rare auras can look pretty cool. A few people here have some kind of very rare auras, which I will say look good. Basically, you roll auras to flex on other players, I guess. Besides that, there's also crafting, which I really don't understand. Do I need the items I craft? What do I do with them? I got gear basing in my inventory, and I assume I need it to craft other stuff. The only thing you can do on this map is pretty much completing this little obby for a small luck boost, and that's pretty much the game overall, I guess. So after testing Souls RNG, I can see why the player count have dropped over time, especially when there are more RNG games which can work as alternatives. So as RNG game, you click a button to receive a random aura in this case. There are super rare auras which people want to go for. Personally, would say that I'm not a fan of Souls RNG, but it does give an idea of what RNG game would look like. Let's move to the next game. And the next game is Void Fishing. Even though it doesn't say RNG in the name, you will notice that in some way it is similar to Souls RNG. So you click, wait a bit, and then get a random item. Similar to Souls RNG, it says the chance. In this case, it's 1 in 36. So the main concept of RNG games is the fact that you click on your screen to get something with different rarities, and in the Void Fishing's case, it was made in a different way while keeping the same main idea. Unlike in Souls RNG, here you need to upgrade all the time to increase your chances of getting better items. Another similar thing is the fact that you can flex on players with your rare items in this game, similar to how you could equip auras to flex in Souls RNG. So if you think about it, the RNG games can be pretty similar to each other in multiple ways, even if it looks like they are very different. Now we know that RNG games base around player clicking to get a random item, which could have chances even in millions. RNG games have different ways to boost your luck, and you can use your rare items, auras, or whatever the game has to showcase it and flex on other players. We are slowly starting to understand better what RNG games are, but we still have 2 more RNG games left to test. And the next game is called Tycoon RNG. It's a pretty new game, which I've heard is pretty cool, and it's the one that inspired me to make this video. I did play it a little already, but not too much. If you have played Miner's Haven, then you might like this game as it's similar on some way to it. So the 3 things RNG games have in common: click for a random item, this game does have it; boosts for luck, it also does have that; and flex on players with rare items, this game has that as well. That means all 3 points we had for last 2 RNG games are also working for this one. But as I said, even thought RNG games have a few main things similar to each other, the way those ideas are implemented into the games can be different, and I personally like the way Tycoon RNG does it the most. When you earn enough cash, you can upgrade your Tycoon's level, which means you can place more things around. And as you know, those things you get from the RNG button. Unlike the last 2 games, here you have 3 different things to focus on: droppers, upgraders, and sellers. And you can't just place the best ones, you actually have to use some strategy and place those things around without ore being destroyed, while also trying to make the most amount of cash. If I placed the thing with 2 big beams on a slot earlier, the ore would burn down before reaching the end, just as an example. This shows that RNG games can be more than 3 points. I made even more, as soon you got nice ideas. Besides having 3 different things to focus on and having to use some strategy to get best outcome, you can also run around map to collect boost cubes, and there's also weather which can affect your income. As for example, some sellers can give a bigger cash boost when there's a certain weather. Overall, Tycoon RNG is definitely my favorite RNG game. At least for now, I feel like it takes the RNG game genre to a different level in some way. And now it's time for the final RNG game of this video, the RNG Gods. It's very similar to Souls RNG. You roll different auras and try to get the rarest ones, but this game does it kind of better. While walking around map, you can find these fruits which will give you a small boost. And this already gives some kind of reason to walk around the map. You get power from quests and rolling. The power is what you need to upgrade your luck and other stuff, in some way similar to the void fishing game. You got crafting in this game just like in Souls RNG, but in my opinion it's easier to understand what is going on here as the UI is made better. And just like in Souls RNG, there's a little parkour, but in this case up to a mountain where you get a small luck boost. So the game does follow 3 points. You click a button to generate a random aura, you can get boosts to boost your luck, and you can flex on other players with your rare auras. So this game follows the RNG game standards, very similar to Souls RNG, but kind of makes the idea a little better, as well as having a nicer design in my opinion. And later I thought, what if I compare RNG games to simulator games? So I decided to compare them with Pet Simulator 99, as that's probably one of the best simulators to compare RNG games with. So here we got eggs, and eggs in this game are pretty much like the buttons in RNG games, but instead they give only certain pets, and not all from the game. Some eggs will have rarer pets which are hard to hatch, and you do have luck boosts to make it easier. If you think it about, you could say Pet Simulator 99 is in some way similar to RNG games, but that's just one simulator. There are simulator games that can be very different, and simulators don't have to be based around RNG. So, what are the RNG games on Roblox? Those are games based off of your luck. RNG stands for Random Number Generator, and numbers is something we have seen in every RNG game that we checked in this video. When you get an item, it says 1 in something. Those are pretty simple games, but can still be made in a way where it's either more challenging, like Tycoon RNG, for example, or something as simple as Souls RNG, where you don't do much besides rolling auras. Is the genre good or bad? I will say it's decent, but everyone has their own taste in games. Some might like the genre, and some might dislike it. And now I want to ask you to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. That would make my day better. You can watch one of these videos while waiting for a new one. They are good too. Join my Discord server. You can chat there with me and other members. The link is in description, and I will see you soon.